UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
There's lots of mosquitoes.
What is this?
So this is our Zap It. I got this for Amanda for Christmas, and it's been great. It's a tennis racket bug zapper, and Amanda's very horribly allergic to bees, so this has helped us out a lot in some areas where bees were around. We want to keep the population up, but I want her to live too.
But here's the thing. I'm not sure that swatting an electrically charged racket at an angry bee is the best approach for keeping them away from me.
They go far, and they don't return, trust me. But you could hear, I don't know if you could hear it now. Any mosquitoes here? No. I'll try to get the mosquitoes out.
There's a citronella candle right next to us. But yes, it is beautiful up here, as you can tell from behind us. It's
have a fire going.
I was going to say it's very woodsy.
Yeah.
There are lots of mosquitoes, lots of bugs. But so this zapper really comes in handy.
So to get to the Upper Peninsula, we had to drive across that Mackinac Bridge. It wasn't as scary as we thought it would be. We went very slow. And, there wasn't any winds. It didn't push the trailer around. So, it was all in my head.
We're about to cross the Mackinac Bridge. How you feeling, babe?
Not great. A little nervous. Heard a lot of stories. This morning I filled every single tire to the exact PSI. Hoping for the best.
We're entering the bridge now. 5 miles to go. I really thought I'd be nervous going over the bridge, but I'm really not.
Well, my teeth are chattering like a cartoon on Hulu.
Who am I? I'm the greatest.
And now, this week, we've gotten to be honorary Yoopers.
Yeah.
That's what the people up here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan call themselves. Yoopers. Our first stop when we got here to the UP was to go to a campground called Bayview Campground. It's a rustic campground, no hookups, but it was gorgeous, right on the shoreline of Lake Superior. We even had this little trail that led to like our own little private beach area on Lake Superior.
It's gorgeous.
We've never hammocked before. Just broke the cord.
I like it better this way.
So from that campground, we took a little day trip to Tahquamenon Falls.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, but the water is kind of brown.
It's known as the Root Beer Falls. I'm not a root beer fan. I call it the Coca-Cola Falls or Pepsi-Cola Falls or, Walmart, Sam's Club Cola Falls. Because that's what it reminds me of. It looks very cool.
Yes, it's great. It is, I forgot the statistic, some third largest something waterfall east of the Mississippi. Not the third largest, but the third largest fall. I'm going to put up on screen what it is.
It was the largest waterfall there.
For sure.
From what I remember.
For sure. It was the largest waterfall we saw that day.
Yes, exactly.
By far.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because there's also a brewery right there at the waterfalls. Now, it was very crowded because it was Memorial Day weekend when we were there. So there were a lot of people. We did not get to stick around and enjoy it much. We did get some beers, although we had to wait in a very long line to get them.
Yep.
So it was kind of a short stay at that brewery, but the falls themselves were great. So after Tahquamenon Falls, we decided to drive over to Marquette, which is where we are now. Marquette is the largest city in the Upper Peninsula. Look, guys, it's a Michigan table and chair. We're in the Upper Peninsula right now. Ooh, don't ask me to point to it. Maybe somewhere in there-ish. I don't know. We're in Marquette, Michigan. We are staying at Rippling River Campground here, and it's really beautiful. Our campsite actually backs up to a rippling river.
Yeah.
We've been parked for all of a minute and a half, and he has already gone into the camper and gotten his Nintendo Switch. Does he even see what is happening right behind him? Check this out. It's a beautiful river right behind us. And nope, he's on his device.
It's kind of like a nice white noise when you go into sleep. This was actually my backdrop when I was teaching on Tuesday. I taught 2 back-to-back classes for about 7 hours, so it was nice to be able to have the cool air hit me and just be in nature.
Yeah, highly recommend this resort. It's really, really beautiful. We're in Site 7, and I have to say,
Best site.
I think it's the best site. We are right next door to a lot of mountain biking trails. In fact, Marquette and the Upper Peninsula as a whole has tons. And if you're a mountain biker, this is your dream in the summer. Anyway, confession, we've never been mountain biking before. And our bikes, they are hybrid bikes. They are like a cross between a street bike and a mountain bike. So they don't have that really great mountain bike look to it, or tires. I guess the tires are the important part.
Yep.
They don't have the
tires and shocks.
They don't have all of that equipment. But I did cycle over there the other day just to check it out. I did a kid trail. I'm not ashamed to admit that I did the kid trail. It was my first time.
It was one more trail than I've ever done, so kudos.
And it was very exciting. I liked it a lot, but I was paranoid I was going to fall the whole time. So I think the kid trail was probably the best way to start.
And you need equipment. Yeah. Helmet, arm pads, knee pads.
Yeah, I don't have any of that, so whatever. But yeah, it's been great. We also went out and we explored all that Marquette as a town has to offer. It's not really a big town, even though it's the biggest town in the UP. It's not huge. There's this lovely walking trail that goes all along Lake Superior. We went to these old iron ore docks that they have in town, which is way more charming than it sounds like on paper. They were really quite attractive.
Yeah. Miles found a park to play in. We walked to a brewery, and by mistake, we walked through the wrong door, and we ended up at a record sales, like a LP sales area. So we stayed up there a little bit and thought, well, I guess this place isn't open, and we went downstairs, and then there was a whole brewery. So it was very nice to find that part.
I know. And we do love vinyl. We have a lot of vinyl at home, but we did not bring a record player with us on this trip. So sadly, we just got beer there and did not walk out with any records.
That would have been silly for us to walk out with records.
But it did really have a cool hipster vibe to it. Then we went over to a really cool park that they have around here. It was not dog friendly, so we did have to take the dogs back to the camper for this part. But they have a really cool feature there called the Black Rocks. And the big thing about the Black Rocks is that people jump off of it into Lake Superior and take a dip in Lake Superior. And we did see a few people try it out while we were there.
Super cold. Miles dipped his feet in. Amanda dipped her feet in. I stayed clear away from it.
Miles is going to stick his feet into Lake Superior and see what it feels like. How is it?
It's colder than Devil's Den.
It's colder than when we were at Devil's Den. So listen, you wanted to jump off into this water in just your underwear. What do you think? Are you glad you didn't do that?
I imagine it's kind of like a polar bear challenge where people are diving into icy cold water, and I heard people yelling it's refreshing, and I'm just going to take their word for it.
Lake Superior is the largest of the Great Lakes, and in fact, it's the largest lake in the U.S., so at least in terms of surface area. So it really is cold. I mean, I don't know if it probably ever gets warm during the summer given the immense size of it. We took a day trip out to take a boat tour of the Pictured Rocks National Shoreline.
That sounds right.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Again, I'll put up on the screen what the actual name of it is.
You take out a boat, 2-floor boat. It was raining, so we had to sit on the inside. But it goes along all of these pictured rocks, and the rocks have different sort of layers in them due to the different types of minerals that are at different levels of the cliffs. And there's beautiful arches. There's been cave-ins. There's caves. So we got to see a lot of things, rock-shaped like things. We're supposed to see like. One was a pirate, one was a...
There was like a whole row of ones that were supposed to look like battleships.
Yeah.
I will say, we were bummed at first because we had to take seats inside the boat and not the top deck, which is the more scenic deck. But the weather ended up being so nasty, so rainy. The people who were outside were miserable.
Yeah, it was a good decision on our part. Yeah.
But it means that we didn't really get to enjoy it as much as I think you would normally enjoy that type of experience.
I think next time we end up here, and I do believe we're going to be here, it's gorgeous, I love it, maybe we kayak past them. There's a lot of kayak tours.
You can kayak.
That take you out to a few parts of the lake where you don't have to kayak, 45 minutes or anything to get to anything scenic, but that'd be the next way to look at it.
I agree.
There at the water line, only go back in a few feet. There's one road that goes all the way through, comes out on the back side, about 40 feet long. It is possible to swim through there, assuming you're not too claustrophobic. Gets a little dark and snug in there.
One of the Yoopers' most famous foods is the pasty, not the pasty, the pasty. And what a pasty is, it's kind of, they're gonna get mad at me for saying it this way. It's enormous empanada that has steak and rhubarbs? Rutabaga.
What'd you get?
Meat and bread. It's a pasty. Anything wrapped in bread has got to be tasty. This is the traditional
Beef and rutabaga.
steak and rutabaga.
Oh, steak and rutabaga.
Yep.
My bad. Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of rutabaga in there, isn't there?
So you just kind of dive in. It's very warm. It's like a pillow that not a pillow, it's like a sleeping bag that I'm eating. It's nice and warm and toasty, and it's just good.
A meat sleeping bag.
Yeah, it'll keep me going all day.
With rutabaga pillows.
That's right.
Now for the one without rutabaga.
Yep. For the non-rutabaga fans, this is all steak all day. They lied to us.
We've been fooled, hustled.
Yes.
Thankfully, neither of us has a violent rutabaga allergy.
I was only supposed to be steak.
Those are the most messed up looking teeth I've ever seen.
You imagine that these were used to keep warm and to keep you going when you're working in these cold winters.
Yeah, it's like a giant meat pie, meat pocket, a hot pocket. Meat, if you will.
I hope they don't hear you say Hot Pocket, but yes, this is Dr. Palladino, not that kind of doctor, with your 7 powerful health tips for rutabagas. Number 1, they're good for you and they're low in calories. 2, they're high in antioxidants. 3, did you know it can help prevent premature aging? Helps with weight loss and is high in potassium. It's like a little banana. Finally, it's easy to add to your diet if you live in Upper Peninsula of Michigan, because it's in everything.